Hey there guys, Luke here with the Outdoor Gear Review. I hope you are all doing well. I want to thank you all for tuning in for this overnight adventure. As you can see here, winter storm time, oh yeah. I came out yesterday to face this storm at 6,000 feet elevation. I am now currently heading back to the car. This has been an intense adventure that has been filled with surprises, especially weather-wise. This may look like an awesome trip, and it is, let me tell you. But the conditions are extreme. Extremely low temperatures, extremely strong winds, and I am dealing with an injury that is really hampering my progress. So folks, let's rewind a couple of hours. Let's go back to yesterday, shall we? Enjoy. Good grief, it is cold. I am in Virginia, very close to the Grayson Highland area. I am on the horse trail here, the Grayson Highlands horse trail. And let me tell you folks, it is cold. It is windy. And we have a serious winter storm coming in. This winter storm is quickly approaching. In fact, it is snowing on that ridge over there. Maybe you can see that, maybe you can't. That is right, folks. We have a nor'easter coming in. So the question is, how much snow are we supposed to get? That's a really good question, and honestly, I have no idea. This forecast must be very complicated because nobody is really calling for a specific amount. We may wake up with 4 inches of snow. We may wake up and have a foot. Who knows? I don't. Temperature. Right now, it's roughly 25 degrees. Windy as heck. The winds are gusting 50 miles an hour here already, and they're going to pick up later tonight. Tonight into tomorrow, the temps are going to drop down to roughly the single digits. With the wind chills, we're looking at -10, -20 degrees Fahrenheit up on top of the mountain. Honestly, folks, I cannot believe that it is snowing on those mountains over there already. That's a prime example of just how poor this forecast is. Moments ago, I checked the weather and it says it's not supposed to start snowing until after 6. It's not even close to 6 o'clock. The game plan here is to stay on this trail for a while. Eventually we will intersect with the Appalachian Trail and begin making our way up to Mount Rogers, the highest point in Virginia. From there, we will then decide what exactly we're going to do, where we're going to camp at. To be honest, at this moment, I'm not sure. This adventure is all about from the seat of the pants. Very little planning has gone into this trip, namely because the weather for this storm has been so all over the place. It has been very difficult to plan for it. Well, 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 folks. The snow is here already. It's like 3 hours early. Wow. Yeah, it's not heavy by any means, but it's definitely coming down. You might be able to hear it instead of see it. Wow, okay. Huh. Well, that's very interesting. That definitely changes the dynamic of this trip. Okay, I'm at the trail here. I have to sign up, right? I have to register for this trail, no permit, just have to sign in sort of thing. This is the Lewis Fork Wilderness, so I better sign in now. I'll tell you what, folks, I will have to be very careful on this trip here. The conditions are going to be brutal. Already with it being this windy, I have to be very careful. I can't sweat too much. In a perfect world, I could sweat, I could do what I want to, run and gun, make it to my camp spots, set up, no issues. But the world is definitely not a perfect place. So I have to be prepared. I have to be smart enough to think about the future here. So I'm going to go slow, I'm gonna stop, brake. I am not going to sweat. Tell you, this is just what the inner wolf needs today. That is for sure. Whew. Is it howl time? No, not yet. That comes tomorrow in the snow. Whew. Tomorrow is going to be brutal. Ay, 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 ay. The snow has stopped. For the time being, it was just a quick little shower. Very small little pieces of snow and ice. Now, as I mentioned, this trip here is just kind of a fly by the seat of my pants sort of thing. I say that, but at the same time, I'm still very prepared. This pack here looks huge. And it's pretty big, actually. But the reason is, it's filled with clothes, it's filled with gear, it's filled with everything that I need to face a major winter storm like this. This is not a game, even though we're going to have fun while doing it. For most people, I do not recommend this. If you have a lot of skill and experience, have fun. Otherwise, start slower. When those trees are popping and cracking, it makes your heart thump a little bit. Being in the woods, when the winds are gusting 50 miles an hour, it could be a little bit intense. Okay, well, I came across a track here, and it looks like it's a southbound track, not northbound. You can see that track right there. It's their left boot. Okay, so I've been watching those tracks for a while, trying to determine which direction they were headed. The previous tracks were pretty sloppy. That one's very clear. My current plan is to finish up this trail here, intersect the Appalachian Trail, head up towards Mount Rogers, and then I may head to Thomas Knob Shelter and spend the night there. That would be way awesome. Now, for me to do that, the Thomas Knob Shelter has to be vacant. I don't want to share it with anybody. I want it for myself. So, yeah, we shall see. So we have the Hilton Creek Trail, which is that way. Rhododendron Gap, Elk Garden. This is the direction that we're going. Taking a water break, and I'm going to take this jacket off. Whew, I'm just sweating, and I can't do that. It is way too dangerous to be sweating. Just can't do it. That does leave me with 2 more layers on. I have a moisture wicking t-shirt on underneath this, and this is a merino wool long sleeve shirt. With that layer off, I'm cold, but it's better not to sweat. What I will do is pick up my pace. That way my furnace gets hotter, I don't need that additional layer, and I'm not going to sweat at the same time. If Thomas Knob is available, we will refer to that as Fort Awesome. Hopefully, Fort Awesome is available. As I'm going up here in elevation, gosh, it is getting windy. Woo! Really, really windy. It is howling a couple 100 feet above us. I just did a map check, still on target, going to intercept the Appalachian Trail here shortly. But there is snow right over here. A snow wall is developing right in front of us. You can see how it's all gray over there. The snow is actually starting to pick up now. Snow is developing all along this ridge. Yeah, I love it. Oh yeah, I do love it. I have easy, quick access to my snow gear if I decide I need it. This forecast, just way off, way off. This snow wall that is developing here is really coming on fast. As I was checking the map, it was nothing. It started off as just a small white space. And now the snow is coming in. It's being wind blown right into my eyeballs. To be honest, this is not what I want to be wearing right now. Even with a breathable jacket like this, it will collect some moisture. So I'm back to going slow again. Walking right into the wind. The snow is just coming in, hitting me in the face. But it does look like it's clearing up. The snow wall has dissipated. It's still vaguely visible over here. Snow for 3 minutes, be fine for 30. Snow wall develops, gone again. I just found something cool. Check this out. It's a blue jay feather. Snow's coming back again. Pretty much when I was about to take this jacket off too. At least now the wind is coming from behind. It's pushing me up this mountain. So that's good. No hitching horses to trees next 500 feet. Essentially, they're trying to get this area to heal back after overuse. Very common in wilderness areas. Virginia Highlands Trail. Crest Trail this way. Elk Garden that direction. That is one old sign. All right. Took a small little break there. Checked the map. Right up here, very, very close, is the Appalachian Trail. Basically, we were walking right next to it on this trail. Speaking of which, I have never been on this trail. This is the first time. To give you guys an idea of just how cold it is right now and how cold it has been, just this morning it was about 12 degrees up here. So take a look at the ground. It's all ice. Check that out. Just coming up out of the ground. As I'm walking on this trail here, yes, I'm walking on rocks, but underneath that is nothing but ice. And as I take a step, it breaks and shifts. It's pretty wild, to be honest with you. Gosh, that is weird. Taking that step, and you can feel the ground break and settle. Wow, this ice, it is awesome. And it's all over the place too. Got a gate up here. I think it might be time to come out of the woods and go out more into the bald. The camera doesn't do this justice, but this is incredibly steep. Let's see if I can't give you guys a ground view of this. That's level right there. As I was coming up this mountain here, I was gawking at these rocks. I was like, oh my gosh, that's so awesome. And then all of a sudden I turned around to this. Wow. Check that out. That is an incredible view. Sun starting to set, getting closer. White Top Mountain. Gorgeous. This place is just simply amazing. What do you guys think? Should I close the gate? All right. I am now on the AT. Whew. Heading northbound. The trail that I was on is actually down here. I don't recommend this, but I went ahead and I cut through the woods from that trail to this one. If you are not good at navigation, if you are not good at reading maps, please stay on the trail. Do not go off the trail if you are not 100% certain of what you are doing. Look how dark it is over here, folks. It's a little bit spooky, isn't it? The only track that I see so far is from the hiker who was coming southbound. They took the trail that I was on as well. I can tell that it's the same track, the same boot print. You never know. I may have that shelter to myself after all. You guys could see here just how harsh of an environment this is. So, the next checkpoint will be the summit trail for Mount Rogers. That's further up here. Gosh, the ground up here is frozen solid. There is no give, not like back there. In the woods for a little bit longer, then we will come out to an opening, head up the mountain a little bit towards the summit. Then, my friends, we are getting very close to the Thomas Nobbs shelter. Now, to be honest, folks, I'm hurting. I've done something to my leg here, my right leg, right here at the kneecap. Whew. I've done something. Pulled something, stepped the wrong way, twisted. I'm not sure, but I definitely feel it. I'm trying to take all the big steps with my left leg, if possible. This view doesn't suck. The summit to Mount Rogers is right up here. We're not going that way. We are this direction. And the Thomas Nobbs shelter is right up there. And I cannot wait to get inside of it. The wind up here is brutal. Whew. Mount Rogers summit. Whew. We are headed this way. It is incredibly windy, incredibly cold, almost to the point where I'm thinking about putting a mask on just to protect my face. At the shelter, we should be very protected. Moment of truth time. There's the shelter. Let's go see if I have it all to myself or if I will have to find a different spot. All right. Thomas Knob Shelter. Yeah. Oh, folks. That feels awesome. No pack, time for some water. Whew, it is cold. As I was coming up to the shelter here, I passed two hikers, a guy and a gal. They were headed to the Mount Rogers summit. They're gonna race up to the top before it gets dark. As it stands right now, it looks like I had this place to myself. You know what, folks? I cannot believe that I didn't notice this when Lucas and I were here for our last overnight trip. You know what? There's an upstairs to this. That's the ladder. There's a loft in this. Wow. Folks, that is cool. Very, very cool. Let's take a moment here to read the book to see who's been here since I have. So it looks like many of the pages have been torn out, including my entry when I was here, I don't know, a couple of weeks ago. Let's see. Here's a recent post, right? The original post. No Facebook, this is a post. It says, day 1, and I could barely feel my fingers enough to write this note. Good day overall, though. Fat still has food, surprisingly. Looks like that snow is coming after all. Cellulite, don't fail me now. Tight and fat. Okay. I'm assuming that a woman wrote that. That does not sound like anything a guy would write. So folks, a top secret note for you all. Whoever comes here will find it. Cool. Top secret note. Done. I'm going to grab my clothing bag as it is pretty darn cold right now. My fingers are freezing. Might as well have a snack too. Now I have some serious gloves for later tonight, tomorrow, whenever I need them. But check these out. Mittens. Oh yeah. I can unzip the back here and I could put in a hand warmer. I could also do that here in the front. But let's say I need my fingers, right? I have them. Oh yeah. I can even use my cell phone. They are very expensive, but they are amazing at the same time. Ah, that feels better already. Knit gloves. Just enough to take the chill off your fingers, right? It is time for a heavy weight merino sweater. Merino wool sweater. Now, I will go with the down jacket. Whatever I pull out, that's what I'm eating. Okay, it is time for some cinnamon coffee cake. Oh my gosh. Having a cup of coffee with this would be incredible. But I would be up all night long. Already, it's late into the afternoon. It's about to become evening time. Oh man. Guys, that is freaking awesome. Hi, buddy. I think that bird is going to be staying with me tonight underneath this shelter. For the last 10 minutes or so, he's just been kind of just hopping around me, checking things out, kind of chirping. That's all right. He could be my buddy. You sure are busy. All right, folks. Now, for this trip here, I brought a canister stove with me. Now, if you're familiar with canister stoves, even alcohol stoves, they do not perform very well when the temperatures get down below, well, 25, 20 degrees, something like that. There really isn't a scientific number to it, but generally speaking, once you go below 25 degrees Fahrenheit, these canister stoves no longer perform very well. Well, you can use these in cold weather. All you have to do is know how to, right? One thing that I'm going to do is that I'm going to keep this fluid warm by sticking this inside of my jacket pocket. Keeping it next to my body will keep it nice and warm. That way when I need to use it, it will work just fine, right? For that quick burn to boil some water, no problems at all. I'm gonna eat my snack, watch these birds, rest my leg. I will think about putting on my thermals because it's that cold right now. The reason why they don't want you to have a fire here is because there's a rare type of salamander in this area. So essentially, you might be disturbing their home. I get it. Now this is pretty funny. Don't trust the salamanders. They'll take all of your money. I love reading all this stuff that's just scribbled on everything. Legalize weed 2016. All right. Someone feels so passionately about marijuana that they had to write that on there. Okay. This says, I'm in paradise. Let's go over here and see what our view looks like. See if we can tell where the snow is at. Oh yeah. Oh yeah, it is coming. Oh yeah. It should be here in about an hour or so. Actually, looks like it's moving in already. The mountaintop here, Mount Rogers, is getting some snow already. Over here, oh yeah, snow is on the way. I am ready to hunker out the storm here in my cabin. How many people wish they were here with me right now in such amazing accommodations, right? I thought about getting a fire going, but since you're not supposed to, I guess I'll follow the rules. But it would feel pretty good. Well, folks, I figure it is time to go ahead and eat. Let's see the time here. It's around 6:30. Might as well go ahead and eat. It'll be getting dark in the next couple of hours anyway. Plus, having some nice warm food in my hands and my stomach is going to be great. Essentially, what I'm going to do is pretty much just eat, get ready for bed. As soon as it gets dark, turn in, and just get nice and warm inside of my sleeping bag. Yeah, who knows what we are in for tomorrow. It's going to be extreme, that's for sure. Right now I have this canister, this gas canister, right here in my jacket. I'm trying to get it underneath my armpit so I can keep it nice and warm. I have a new stove tonight, and this is the MSR Pocket Rocket 2. Right onto the scene. It just came out to the market. I'm excited to see how well this performs. It has some really, really cool features. It's incredibly lightweight. So like that, it unfolds. Now, I'm going to take this washcloth and I'm going to set the canister on top of that. Think of this as an insulated layer between this and the ground, right? Or the cold wood of this platform. Pull the gas can out of my shirt. If somebody walked by, they'd be like, what are you doing? Pervert. Come on, lighter. It's too cold. Oh yeah. All right. Wow. That is definitely a rocket. Oh my gosh, that feels so good. Oh yeah. Tonight when I go to bed, I will take that gas can and I will put it inside of my sleeping bag. That way I can keep it nice and warm. So for dinner, we have some rice and basil sauce. Oh yeah. Real termite meals, these are the best ever. The heat coming off of this is amazing. The water is done. Oh my gosh. Whatever the heck that is freaking awesome. Ah, yes. Something nice and warm to hold on to. Gosh, that feels great. That is exactly what I need right now. You know, folks, to be honest with you, I'm not really concerned, but I'm on alert of those two hikers that I passed back there. They were heading up to the summit for Mount Rogers, which is getting hit by the snow right now. I would like to see them coming back and heading to their car, to be honest with you. I mean, it's always possible that they were heading down to the Elk Garden parking lot where I parked. So maybe I won't see them again, but I don't know. They didn't seem like they were carrying much. They didn't really have any backpacks or anything like that. So I hope that they are prepared. You know what I mean? Are you guys ready for this? Oh snap! Where did the mountains go? The snow is right there now. Oh yes. It's on its way, folks. It is miserably cold up here. The winds are blowing 45, 50. Yeah. That snow right there is very, very fine. So it's just going to freeze everything. It's going to be rim ice, without a doubt. Tomorrow, it will be gorgeous. Oh yeah. Whew. That is awesome. I like out of the can into the man, out of the bag into the man is just as good. I'm sure you guys are wondering, what story do I have to share tonight? Well, it is dinner time, so it is time to tell a story. Now, I guess I can tell you about Madison. That's something that's new in my life. You know my daughter, Maddie. You guys have seen her in a few adventures, some day hikes and other trips and stuff like that. But she has made a huge decision. She has decided to join the Army. And she's going to when she's 17, which is just a few months away. I'm incredibly proud of her. It's a huge decision. She is on a track right now to graduate early, before she is 18 years old. So, yeah. Before she's 18, she will be enlisted. And I'm very proud of her. You know, joining the Army, the military, the Marines, is something that I've always wanted to do. But because of the injuries which I had when I was younger, that's out of the question. I always wanted to, though. I really did. I come from a long line of soldiers. My uncle, he was a Marine. My great-uncle, he fought in World War II. We have family that fought in the Civil War. One of them was a very high-ranking officer, rode a horse. And in my area, he was actually shot off of his horse, and he crawled up into the woods and died. We should go find that spot in like a day hike adventure. That'd be fun. There's actually a plaque up about his death. Well, folks, done with dinner, cleaning up. The hikers who I met coming through, they finally came back out. They said they got lost up in the snow on top of Mount Rogers. Said that they couldn't see anything up there. It was just coming down. They seemed very nice, had a good conversation. It's funny, there's one spot, like right over here next to this picnic table, where I can actually get signal on my phone. So every time I run over there, I can send a text message, receive one, and Susan said that it hasn't started snowing there yet, and that they're calling for freezing rain. It may be more of a freezing rainstorm for where I live. Who the heck knows? But it sounds like it could be nasty tomorrow. Hiking out of here is going to be very interesting. Everything will probably be iced up. Who knows how much snow we're going to get, if any. Yeah, I don't know. Time to get everything ready for bed here. Okay. I don't usually throw down a sheet of plastic when I'm sleeping inside of a shelter, but this place is pretty filthy, to be honest with you. There's a lot of trash. I don't know. There's just little chunks of something. I can't really quite tell what it is. It might be glass that's on the floor. So I tried to do some sweeping. I did the best I could. So I'm going to have this piece of plastic down here just in case. Extra protection. I definitely don't want to punch a hole in my sleeping pad tonight. That would suck. So I have decided to sleep on the bottom floor. That way I can look out and see if it's snowing. Right now, it doesn't look like it's doing much of anything, really. I am going to take the stuff sack for my sleeping bag, and I'm going to turn this inside out. And I'm going to stick my boots inside of this bag, seal it up, and then when I hop inside, I'm going to shove this in the very bottom of my sleeping bag. That way my boots don't freeze tonight. At this altitude, with these temperatures, any bit of moisture is freezing. My water bag is just about frozen already. I will have to move that into my sleeping bag tonight too. I still have my gas can right here in my pocket. So, yeah, I definitely don't have to put my boots inside of my sleeping bag. I just want to. I want to prevent them from freezing because I have to put them on tomorrow. And I don't want them to be solid blocks of ice. It is going to be so wicked cold tomorrow that I need every edge that I can possibly get, right? I'm sure you're wondering what type of shelter I was going to bring if we couldn't stay here at Thomas Knob. I have the Go Light Shangri-La tent. It has the pole, it has some stakes in there, and it has the fly. It does not have the nest at all. It's a very small system. It is absolutely awesome for heavy snow, for strong winds, and for cold conditions. A fresh pair of socks is what I seek, and that is what is in this bag here. Once I take the socks out, this will become my pillow tonight. Tights. Thermal tights. You want to stay warm? Get some tights. My mustache is frozen. Okay. Okay, well, brush up. Then it's time for bed. Gosh. Oh, man. I have to be honest with you folks. My leg is in rough shape right now. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly what I've done. Oh, man, but it hurts like crazy. I'm having a hard time walking on it, to be honest. Tomorrow is going to be interesting. In the snow, in the wind, on top of this mountain, heading down with a bum leg. Always an adventure, my friends. Always an adventure. Alright, guys. It is time for bed. It is mighty, mighty cold. Okay, now I am pretty much ready for bed. Alright, so I have my shoes at the bottom of the sleeping bag. I have my fuel canister right next to me. I also have my cell phone and a battery bank right next to me, charging the phone. I am going to fall asleep listening to a podcast tonight. It's a murder mystery whodunit sort of thing. It's a case file. Essentially, it's like a real-life story about, some crazy psycho serial killer sort of thing. Yeah, should be pretty good. It's been a really good day. I've had a lot of fun. This has been an amazing adventure so far. Snow shower, sunshine, snow shower, sunshine. That's great. I guess I'll stop talking, say goodnight. I will bring you guys back in the morning, or even sooner if something crazy happens. Essentially, the plan is to wake up, have breakfast, have coffee, pack up, get out of Dodge. Gotta go home. Sadly, I have to go back to work. I don't want to go back to work. I have to go back to work. Alright, folks, everybody, good night. I will see you guys in the morning. Wish me luck that I don't freeze to death and become a popsicle. Good night. Oh, my knee. Feels good in the heat. Gosh. It hurts to have it straight. It hurts to bend it, too. Whew. Alright, guys. Good morning. Oh. Good morning, everybody. As you can see here, it is snowing. Yes, it is snowing inside of the shelter. The winds are incredible right now. At certain points of time, it sounds like the roof is going to tear right off of this place. It looks mighty, mighty cold outside. To be honest with you folks, it's mighty cold in here too. I'm sure you're wondering about the weather. Yes, it is snowing, but it did not start that way. At some point in time last night, it started out as freezing rain, and it poured. It then transitioned over to sleet, then it's over to snow, so hopefully I have something that I can walk on that won't kill me. It has been a very intense night. What is the temperature? I have no idea. Yeah, I'm a little bit eager to get up, see how the trail is, and come up with a game plan. This Fjallraven sleeping bag has kept me incredibly warm. I have slept great, even though I'm covered in snow. I don't know if you guys could see this on the sleeping bag here, but the whole sleeping bag is just covered in snow. That's alright. Luckily, there's so much loft in this bag that the snow isn't melting. I'll try to wipe it off the best I can before I stuff it away. Brr! It is cold, man. It is cold. Alright, folks. This is what everything looks like today. So as you can see here, we didn't get the foot of snow, but it is definitely a winter wonderland. Let's go for a quick walk up here. Whew. Just to see what everything looks like. Everything is iced up. I mean, check this out. That's incredible. Very, very thick ice. Ah. Whew. Wow. It's gorgeous. This will kill you quick if you're not careful. Look at that rim ice. Wow. So how much snow did we get? I don't know. It's so wind blown. I don't know. A couple of inches. You really have to be careful where you step. Everything is ice underneath this snow. I'll show you guys what it looks like in here too. It's a mess. It's a mess. So here you go. I've been knocking snow off of me all night long. My boots stayed nice and dry. They're nice and warm because I had them inside of the stuff sack. I'm going to pack up, I think, and then have coffee, breakfast. Time to bounce. All right, folks, time to get the stove going. It is coffee time. Looks like it's snowing pretty good outside right now. Let me tell you, putting everything up has been a real chore. The wind gusts keep coming in, it just blows in snow. Everything I try to dry off before I put up gets wet, gets covered. It has been a battle. It really has been. You could say that about this entire trip. It's been an uphill battle the entire time. But I've loved every single second of it. Oh gosh. I slept with my hydration bags in my sleeping bag. And they've been outside here for about, I don't know, 5 minutes. And they are turning to ice. Slushy city. Better use it quick before it freezes solid. I mean, check that out. Nothing but ice. The water that I just put in that cup is now freezing over. It's cold, folks. It might even be colder than what I expected. I was thinking 10. It might be even colder than that. Turbo blast! Guys, it is brutally cold right now. Oh, that coffee makes everything all right, though. Cheers, everybody, cheers. Going out through here on the balds, where there's no trees. God dang! Jeez. That right there is exactly what I was talking about. When we get out onto the balds and that happens, whoa, that's gonna be intense. Right now, I'm comfortable, but I am not warm. I'm comfortable. What I need to do is get that pack on. I need to start hiking. That way my nuclear furnace takes off, starts going. Wow. Whew. That is exactly what we're walking into right there. Whoa. With a trip like this, in this sort of situation, it's very serious. This is a very serious situation. One false move can mean the difference between life and death in conditions like this. I can see here that every second that I spend inside of this shelter, these winds are picking up. They're getting stronger and stronger. If you can believe the forecast, as the day goes on, the temperatures are dropping, the winds are going up in speed. I can see here with these winds, I'm wasting too much time. I better drink my coffee and pack at the same time. All right, here we go. To be honest, I almost need my sunglasses on. That snow is just peppering me in the eyeballs. Folks, it is gorgeous out here. Wow. On a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being no pain, 10 being a lot of pain, my knee is a good 9.5. It is hurting pretty darn good right now. It is unbelievably beautiful. Very harsh environment. Slow and steady is the name of this game here. Gotta go slow to ensure my footing and also not to sweat my brains out. Luckily, I'm almost to the point where it will be downhill for a very good portion. Gosh, being up here in the clouds, it is gorgeous. It is gorgeous. Frigid, yes. Gorgeous, oh yes. Hopefully the wind will be dying down some as we're getting off of this bald, going into the woods. I don't know if the camera could pick this up, but the color right now is almost like a peach. The sky is a real peachy sort of color. The jacket has to come off. Maybe even the down jacket too. Yes, it's cold. Yes, I will get a little bit wet from the snow, but I'm sweating my brains out. The nuclear furnace is in overdrive. I can make popcorn with just my body heat right now. Woo! It is absolutely pouring the snow right now. Pouring it down. Whew. And I'm perfectly comfortable too. Now, with whatever is going on with my leg here, it actually started with the previous multi-day adventure where I was out with Lucas, which was a ton of fun. I'm so proud of that kid. That young man. Not really a kid. But yeah, it didn't hurt during the trip. But when I got home, gosh, I couldn't hardly walk for a couple of days. Then it got better. Then I went out for a run. Oh, it killed me for another couple days. Then got better. Now, back to hurting again. As I was walking along through here, I saw something black go boop. It was a mole, and he ran right into that little hole right there. You can see his little tracks. So far on this trip, I have seen nothing. Gosh. but rabbit tracks. Rabbit and bird. Now the mole. That's it so far. A second. That's not the right way. You have to be very careful because it's so easy to get off course here. Especially in the snow. I almost headed off into the woods. Okay. Back on track. Yeah. Back on the AT. When it comes to snow, there's not a whole lot here. About an inch, inch and a half. Gorgeous though, give it that. My plan is to get off of the AT, head back down towards Elk Garden, take the trail that we started with. That trail is much easier than this one. This is very, very rocky, lots of roots. The other one is definitely smoother, and that is what I need right now. Ooh, yeah. This is going to be a cold spot. The bald here, no trees, lots of wind. Ooh, yeah. Woo! That's cold. But it is beautiful. This is where I'm headed. There's also another trail down this way, which I will intersect here in just a little bit. Woo! The winds are blowing 45, 50 miles an hour. There was a wind gust back there that was so strong, about blew me over. I have two issues right now. One, the snow is hitting me in the face and it's like being hit with like BBs. Stings like mad. Two, it's so cold and so windy that my eyelids are freezing shut. Woo! Luckily, I'm almost off of the bald now. Thank God. All of these rocks are coated with ice. Incredibly slick. Also, the snow is really deep here in spots where it's built up. In some of these spots, it's over 6 inches deep. I don't know if you guys could see it, but my eyelids are frozen shut. Golly. Whew. Finally, back into the woods. Right up here is the gate. Hopefully, I will get some protection. That was brutal. Take a look here at my shirt. That is freezing fog. It's from being in the clouds here. It is freezing to everything. That's what's freezing my eyelids shut. It's freezing every strand and fiber of my shirt as well. That's pretty wild. Very, very windy. Chunks of ice are breaking off from the trees, falling down. I will need to be careful and keep an eye out for falling branches, falling trees, all that good stuff. Everything is just covering up with rim ice, including myself. I'm constantly having like open my eyelids because they're starting to freeze shut. Making great progress. It's all essentially downhill from here, and it's all really easy going. The trail is so nice. It is really nice compared to the AT, where it's just so rocky and rooty. This is a lot easier on my knee here. Now I'm sure you guys can hear that. As I'm hiking along, this pack is squeaking. I probably sound like a wounded animal, and who knows what is going to come and get me. Figured I would answer a few questions for you all. Let's see, starting with gaiters. I do have gaiters in my pack. I did not put them on because the snow is not very deep. For about 1.5 inches of snow, 2 inches, I'm not going full with it. For 6 inches, I would have. Okay, when it comes to maps, I have a paper topographical map in my pocket. That is what I have been referring to this entire trip. Now, I couldn't actually find a map for this trail. So really, I'm just having to use a little bit of scout navigation, making sure to keep an eye on the map, keep an eye on this trail. I have to look at it often to be able to find my placement, to stay on the track that I think I'm supposed to follow. So far, so good. Without a doubt, I'm having issues with my camera here. I'm having to take the battery out, put it in my pocket. Everything's frozen. My water is 100% frozen now. It was practically frozen before we left the shelter. I don't know what I heard, but I definitely heard something. Something's up in those woods. Not sure what it is. Getting pretty close to getting out of here. About to come out of the woods, out onto the bald, then down to the parking lot. Oh yeah. I see the gate. Woohoo! Back into the wind. This is going to be a very windy section. Ooh, man. I think my face is frozen. Feels like it's frozen. Oh yeah. I like that gray going on. It is vicious down here. All right, shields up. Oh man. This has got to be the most brutal part of this hike so far. The winds here, easy 60, 70 miles an hour. The snow is drifted real deep. Whew. There is a parking lot down here somewhere, but I have no idea where. I need to get out of this wind as soon as possible. Well, folks, the adventure has come to an end. It is now time to head on out of here. The roads are looking pretty good. I'm not the only person camping out. There are a couple guys right beside me here who just camped out in the woods. Oh yeah, that's how it's done. Oh yeah. So, the good. Well, the trip was awesome. Had a fantastic time. Beautiful, cold, windy, amazing. The bad, my camera fell over and I broke my mic again. That's the second one in less than a year. So, all right, folks, time to go. Strength and honor to you all. Thank you guys for joining me for this adventure. On to the next. Oh yeah. Take care, guys.